I'm David Ruffin.
I'm Kobe. Eric Snow.
Hey. Guys got the hat off today.
You know, you got the
like
cut.
Ooh.
Ooh. You was a little late with the reply, though. It took you a minute to think
Absolutely.
about it.
You
You
gotta
gotta get on
He had
it.
to come
That
hard.
marinated in my soul.
It's supposed to be quick.
He waited for all of that just for your mama joke.
I got so many jokes.
Couchtalk TV.
Couchtalk.
Couch Talk.
It's your man Sights by Song.
Your girl at Pop Rocks and Monsters.
You know, it's at Bruce Saylor on Instagram, Brucey B the Boss on Snapchat, a.k.a. King Fellatio.
Wow. Okay,
Wow.
Couch Talk. How y'all doing this week? I'm not even going to go into that. I usually like to.
Wow.
What are you doing?
I had a good week.
You had a good week?
Oh, yeah. Every week's a good week. We alive. We well. We here. You know?
Yes, absolutely.
Positivity.
DJ Tsunami in the building was good.
Hey, DJ Tsunami 203, all social media platforms. And I woke up today, so I'm blessed.
Lit.
Absolutely.
Yes, I had a good week. I finally got to watch all 6 parts of the Surviving R. Kelly.
Jumping right into it, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there was definitely a lot of artists who have worked with him in the past have a lot to say about it, including Nick Cannon. Had an interview with Dame Dash.
Yes, the newest thing.
And there was, Nick Cannon, tried to jump ahead of it. My song with him.
What
His best song.
Yeah,
His
exactly.
best
His
song.
best
Song.
song.
His Gigolo.
Gigolo.
And
Yep.
he's
R. Kelly
like,
wrote and produced.
Yes.
Do we all have a part to play in it? Try to accept responsibility for not, checking him, basically. And
I
And
guess.
what did Dame Dash say? Everyone's gonna bring up Aaliyah. That's a very touchy topic because everyone knows that what happened with R. Kelly, and also she was linked with Hove and Dame. It was always rumored they was dating. They both. I always heard that Jay-Z and Dame somewhat passed Aaliyah back and forth, but I think she was overage at that point. She was overage. But let's check the years. You know what I'm saying? Might get a little crazy.
Yeah, I know. She passed at 21, so it's like
We're not TMZ,
That was
but
2001, so a lot was happening around the age of 18. Everybody was older anyway. So, Dame Dash said, Nick Cannon tried to throw in a joke and say, he said, oh, wasn't y'all picking up Foxy from high school? He said, don't y'all mean nothing.
Foxy, when he showed up picking up
But
Foxy
Nick
right
Cannon
now.
did it purposely because he know how the type of person Dame is. He's real brash. He's from Harlem. So when you come at somebody like that, they're going to go really at you. So he said, oh, y'all was there. So he knew he's going to come back with the, don't ask me that, ask Jay that. He said, y'all like to ask me questions that y'all really want to ask Jay-Z. And then they kept continuing with the podcast. And he said, no, ask the question again. And ask it how you really want to ask it. What are you trying to say, Nick Cannon, is what he's saying. Basically saying,
Nick Cannon's podcast.
Basically, Dame Dash was telling Nick Cannon, ask the real question. Was Jay-Z fucking with Foxy Brown when she was underage? That's the question that he really wanted to ask. They said Dame Dash threw Jay-Z under the bus. But did he really? If this was facts are facts.
I mean,
Because now, like we said with the Surviving R. Kelly thing, now it's everybody's dirty laundry is getting aired out now. Because you started to see like, oh, damn, you was 26, 27, this chick was 15, 14. It's starting to come out now. Everybody's like, oh, that's why they had first said, why aren't these people speaking up? Because if you speak up, now somebody has to air you out. So that's why folks is chilling like, I don't want to say anything.
Well, apparently, even if you don't speak up, people going to put you on blast and air you out.
It's best just not to speak up, though, if they're going to air you.
After I watched it, I was so fascinated by our people's response to it. I don't know about y'all, but I wanted to hear a lot of people's opinions of it.
It's very split down the middle to me. It's like a lot of
might
people,
even be more.
and even when there's even
Yes.
you would think it would be like mostly
60,
female.
40.
You would think it'd be like a lot of females like just taking their side and everything like that. But I've actually seen a lot of females who were like, well, I mean, I was liking grown men at that age. I was fast at that age, and da-da-da. And it's
That's what I was trying to say.
and to me, it just shows that a lot of people, it's normalized for them because they went through it, and it's like you can't see that it's not right.
Right away, multiple females were like, I remember dope boys is picking me up from high school. Just that and the third.
Yeah, but then on the other side, I know a lot of females who were like, I know I went through it. At the time, I didn't see nothing wrong with it. But looking back as a grown woman, it's like, all right, he manipulated me. He made me think that he was my man. He was in love with me and all of this stuff. And at the time, being young and easily persuaded and even easily manipulated, I fell for it. And I was like, looking back at it, you know, it was wrong. So I think it's very split from what I've seen, even on my own social media, people that I know personally.
Think people are always going to go from their own personal experiences in life. That's what comes down to anything. You know what I'm saying? But especially with this whole older man, younger woman, we've come from a culture in society since the beginning of time where older men have been with younger women.
Always.
They
leave their wives.
When it comes out, people say, I've experienced that. Either I was the one dating the younger girl or I was the younger girl who dated the older guy. Was it a positive experience when you were younger or was it a negative experience?
One thing that I heard was like, she was like, I think it was in a documentary or something that I seen afterward, they were like, from the ages of 12 to 17, it's impossible for a woman to consent to sex.
Legally or psychologically?
She was talking, I think she's talking about psychologically and ethically. Like, I'm trying to say, like, obviously legally it's not.
Yeah, legally it's not. We know that. Yeah, but psychologically, can a 17-year-old woman think for herself?
She's like, from 12 to 17, you can be manipulated.
I think you can be manipulated at any age.
A TMZ video from 2016 surfaced. Like I said, a lot of things have surfaced since then. And the victim that was in the documentary is in the front row screaming his name. Like, is he stigmatized? Or were they just abused? You know what I'm saying?
Victimized or idolized at that point?
I think it was a fine line for some women, but the little girls and the victims, my heart goes out to them, of course. Seriously.
Older men,
13, 12,
at like 20s, 30s, or whatever like that, it's easier to convince a young girl because they know they've been in it longer. They know how to talk to them rather than two 16-year-olds where it's like it's more fresh for both of them. I think it's more of just like back to the manipulation thing or being able to take advantage of a young mind and mold it the way that they want. Do
you think that that's always the case for somebody older?
I mean, it's different for everybody. I just think for the most part, it's just easier for an older person to be, even as a female, an older female. If I see a 16-year-old right now and I wanted to convince him to do something, it'd probably be way easier for me to convince him to do something than a grown man because they're going to be more susceptible to whatever I have to say.
Yeah, there's a terminology that is called taking candy from a baby, and the terminology is not just a cliche. You know what I'm saying? Well, cliches are not just cliches for a reason. But I want to turn to the video that surfaced literally days after, because R. Kelly's birthday was literally right after the documentary
he was
aired.
in Chicago at a club.
His hometown.
And it was packed, and people were screaming his name, and they was loving R. Kelly. So
young black girls snapping, like, rape me. They were saying, I don't know if they said rape me, but they said something like that, though.
I actually heard
like,
somebody in real life say that.
Oh, wow.
I actually heard a female in real life say that. He could come rape me.
Did you see Nami nose over there?
Does that make him a predator, or does that mean he wasn't mentally mature at the time? Because he has a lot of things in his own backstory that means
his sister molested him.
Exactly. At one point in time, did he stop maturing mentally?
Yeah,
like many of us have because of trauma in our lives.
I do think that.
But that's no excuse.
Women, definitely, women and men, when you get sexually abused, your sexual it grows drastically. You're curious. The earlier a woman's deflowered.
That was good.
Use that word. She's not sure. Now her body's changing. She's gonna be curious about that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what makes. I'm not gonna say that all like strippers or porn stars or women that turn to the life of sex, but usually they have daddy issues, and usually a lot of them were molested underage.
When it comes to R. Kelly's own, he was molested at a young age, as was his brothers. And I would never take away from that. He went through a traumatic experience. But
I don't care.
As you get older, as you become an adult, you need to, right from wrong. Whether you, I know it's a lot of times it's a vicious cycle, but that doesn't give him an excuse to do it to other people.
I don't talk about this very passionately all week, and my views are so much, slurred all week with different conversations. However, I've experienced trauma. People experience trauma. Like Jeray said, it doesn't give you a right to hurt people for years and years and years. I don't, and another thing too is whether he was, abused or not, or there was other variables. Like I said, it doesn't give you an excuse to do what he did. It doesn't give him a pass. And I think it's just somewhat unremorseful when you bring up these things, even if that's true that R. Kelly was abused, even if that's true that these girls were fast, even if that's true when you was 15, you was getting picked up by 23-year-olds that had cars out and they graduated. when you bring it up right after the show airs, it seems somewhat unremorseful. Who should get the most blame? I think it's R. Kelly. You could bring in all the other dynamics and enablers, but this nigga was a monster, and he makes me want to become a better man, and I feel bad about things I've done in the past.
I get what, and that's messed up.
The thing is, I'm not wishing death on R. Kelly, but one thing I feel passionate about is how is R. Kelly still alive right now? When I seen a couple of the fathers from the Savage family and the other dude, and they were like, I haven't seen my daughter in 3 years, and this, that, and the third. For me personally, I have a beautiful daughter. Her name is Nari. And if I didn't see her from 17 to 20 years old, and this man had her under his manipulation, I would literally kill him. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, not really feel sorry. Do you know what I'm trying to say about that? Like, how are these fathers just okay with that?
Gotta get past security.
No, listen. He does book signings. He does all this. I'll train with a sniper rifle for 5 months. I'm killing R. Kelly.
Yeah,
He's done. He's murked.
Make people wanna
Act the fool, you know, they wild out.
make good people wanna.
Saying, like,
he's canceled. I don't want to give him too much energy.
But off of this.
But who can replace him? Who can replace R. Kelly?
As the king of R&B.
Mm-hmm. Now that he clearly
he's
is
dethroned.
asterisk.
I would put up a bid for Usher. I put up a bid for Usher as that would be to claim that throne of king of R&B. Until his dirty laundry comes out, then we have to put him down.
You're funny, his dirty laundry come out. You see R. Kelly put when he was messing with the same girl?
Yeah.
Locked him up too?
He didn't really put that, but someone edited it. It was funny. It was.
That's hilarious. They had a hit song called The Same Girl.
I mean, I think Usher be good.
Yeah, and then if you're going younger, like we already stated before, this generation, Chris Brown.
Clearly, that the undecided that we had last year, that last week at the
Yeah, it would definitely either be Usher.
that undecided song is fire. Who else you gonna give it to?
But you don't gotta be young to be king. You can
I see you shaking your head. Don't say Genuine.
Please don't.
His stint was long, short as Lil
Not
Zane.
Jacquees.
As long as it ain't Jacquees.
No, not for nothing though. All day, Usher, hands down.
Gotta be.
If we're gonna go into who's next, and Chris Brown is definitely up there with Usher. He
Longevity.
just needs a little bit more season.
Hits.
He needs I need a couple
not gonna be dancing
more.
forever.
I need a couple more albums. I need to know he can stay
29.
consistent for the
He's
next
for a while.
20 years the same way Usher stayed consistent since the 90s.
I mean, it's 2019. Chris Brown's
more relevant.
05?
Usher has a bigger catalog.
05? So
Chris Brown is relevant, but Usher has been relevant.
And with Chris Brown,
like a
because
passing of the torch.
because
It
he
is.
constantly has
It's like LeBron's gonna retire soon.
personal
yes.
issues as well. I think it takes some. It doesn't really take away from him from a lot of people, but there are people who talk against him as well because
I always
of his
question why he married that manly looking
assault
woman.
and everything like that.
Right.
Like I
there's
said, everybody got
constant
stuff.
charges.
Usher
Can't
got
help who you
herpes.
love.
Like, come on, what's herpes better or a little salt charge?
His wife did
That
say
is
Usher
an
had herpes.
accusation.
Oh, here we go. Here we thought
Check
with
the
last
receipts.
king,
Check the receipts. Check the
we
receipts.
said it was just accusation with the last.
Don't just go wrong and say, oh yeah, I got the cure. I'm about to eat
No.
healthy.
I was talking
I'm
about.
about to eat a couple mangoes.
So how about these other icons? Harvey Weinstein just went to court. He beat one of the cases.
Kevin Spacey.
Charges was dropped. I feel like once your name. You ever seen the movie Wanted? And then it was the assassins. And your name came up and you had to get killed. I feel like in the industry, once your name comes up, we're gonna destroy you, and that's just what happens.
Oh, the movie with Common.
Yes.
Fire movie.
Where they
That name of
curved
it.
the bullet.
Yes, Morgan Freeman, all that.
What's the name of
So
that
when your
movie?
name
Remember
Wanted,
that shit?
I just said.
Oh, yeah, Wanted. My bad.
Are y'all watching this? What did I just say?
Nobody.
So in the industry,
I got you, House.
when your name
Wanted.
comes up and it's time for you to get canceled, you will get canceled by any means necessary. Especially if you are a black superstar and we want you to get canceled.
Like Nino
I
said,
do agree.
you
I
better
do agree
cancel
with
that.
that. I do agree with Black Hollywood. I've heard it from a long time. From Tupac, from Dave Chappelle.
Has any of our stars we idolize ever get to make it to death and rest in peace without them bringing them down and letting you know who they really are?
Possible. Hove got allegations. Hove got
Before Hov dies,
charges.
it'll be the same. And before anybody that we have ever idolized and put up there will get aired out before they die. It's just how it is. Period.
Obama won't.
Yes, he will. Everybody will get canceled before they pass away. In this white America, absolutely. Final thought, just be a good person, human being, and if you ever think about becoming a star or powerful and you got dirty laundry, you probably should put all of your bank accounts and tax information in other people's names so when they bring you down, you still can collect that money somewhere else in another country.